Hey there, and welcome to Kunzy in English. I'm Tom, and today I want you to imagine something a little different. You're not just learning English today, you're stepping into an old world full of danger, mystery, and hidden treasure. You're going on a journey, and the map in your hands is made of words. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever dreamed of living inside a story? Not just reading it, but feeling it, seeing the world through the eyes of a hero, hearing every sound, every whisper, every heartbeat. That's what we're going to do today. You and I are going to travel together through one of the most legendary adventure stories of all time. A story about a boy, a map, and a secret island full of gold. This is the world of Treasure Island. But don't worry, this isn't a full book. This is not school homework. It's a short, simple version of the story created just for English learners like you. And it's not just about listening. It's about learning, growing, and speaking more confidently in English. You're going to understand every word, not because it's easy, but because I will guide you step by step. So how does it work? Today's episode is divided into 3 parts. First, you'll hear the story, told in slow, clear, and simple English. This isn't fast audiobook English that leaves you confused. This is calm, thoughtful storytelling that helps you feel the language as you listen. Second, I will teach you some of the most useful words and expressions from the story. These are real, powerful words that you can use in everyday life. And third, you'll practice shadowing. That means repeating what I say, copying the rhythm, the pronunciation, and the feeling. This is how your mouth learns English. This is how you become fluent. Now, maybe you're thinking, why Treasure Island? Why this old story from long ago? Because stories like this are more than just books. They are doors into the English language, doors into imagination, doors into courage. Treasure Island isn't just about pirates and gold. It's about fear, bravery, choices, and growth. It's about a young boy who faces danger, makes mistakes, learns to trust, and discovers who he really is. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? In many ways, that's what your English journey looks like, too. You might feel like Jim Hawkins, the boy in the story. You're standing at the beginning of something big. Maybe you feel nervous. Maybe you feel excited. Maybe you don't know what's coming next. But deep inside, you feel ready for more. And just like Jim, you're not alone. I'll be right here with you, guiding you, helping you understand, helping you speak. This story has all the things that make language learning exciting. Strange characters, real conversations, surprises, emotion, action. It's a living world that you can explore with your ears and your voice. And as you listen and repeat, your brain will start doing something magical. It will stop translating. It will stop hesitating. It will start thinking in English. And that is the goal. Not just to understand English, not just to read it or write it, but to live it, to feel comfortable inside it, to be able to tell your own stories, your own adventures, in your own voice. Before we begin the story, I want to tell you something important. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to remember everything. You just need to stay curious. Let English come into your life like a river. Let it flow around you. If you miss a word, that's okay. If you don't understand a sentence, keep going. This is not a test. It's a journey. And I promise you this, the more you listen, the more you repeat, the more you enjoy, the stronger your English will become. You'll start to notice words that used to confuse you. You'll hear grammar in action, not as a rule, but as a rhythm. And most of all, you'll start to feel proud of yourself. Because every time you choose to listen, Every time you speak out loud, you're becoming more than just a learner. You're becoming a speaker. So now, take a deep breath. Leave your old fears behind. We're going on an adventure together, to a small village by the sea, to an old inn where strange men come and go, to a ship that sails into the unknown, to an island that holds more than just treasure. It holds truth. It holds challenge. It holds transformation. This is your map. This is your compass. This is your voice. And it starts right here, right now. Are you ready to go? Then listen closely, because the adventure is about to begin. And the first footstep into this new world is just one word away. Let's begin. Once upon a time, in a peaceful little village by the sea, there was an old inn named Admiral Benbow. There, a boy named Jim Hawkins lived with his parents. Life went by quietly. The sea breeze blew through the wooden windows every morning. Guests were just lonely travelers, and no one thought anything strange would happen. Until one day, a man appeared at the door of the inn. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and had a long, scary scar on his face. His name was Billy Bones. He didn't talk much, always kept a hold of an old wooden chest, and looked out to sea through a telescope every morning, as if waiting for someone to appear. He drank strong rum and sang pirate songs that gave everyone chills. But the strangest thing was when he gave Jim a silver coin and said, "If you see a sailor with one leg, tell me immediately." Jim didn't understand why Billy was so afraid, but he could feel that something dangerous was approaching. And he was right. One day, a blind man with a dark, frightening face appeared. His name was Pew, and his voice sent shivers down everyone's spine. Pew didn't need to see to know exactly where Billy was. He handed Billy a small piece of paper. On it was a black circle. In the pirate world, this was the black spot, a symbol of death. Billy saw it, turned pale, trembled, and before he could say anything, he collapsed. His heart had stopped. After his sudden death, Jim and his mother decided to open Billy's old chest to retrieve the money he owed them. But inside, they didn't just find coins from all over the world. They also found something far more strange: a treasure map. It was a map that led to treasure hidden long ago by the infamous pirate Captain Flint. The legendary treasure gold, silver, jewels lying somewhere on an unknown island. Jim brought the map to Dr. Livesey, a kind and intelligent man, and to Squire Trelawney, a wealthy gentleman who loved adventure. Immediately, the three began planning a treasure hunt. They hired a ship named Hispaniola, and Captain Smollett, a strict but fair man, was chosen to lead the journey. During preparations, they also hired a ship's cook named Long John Silver. He had only one leg and used a wooden crutch, but was cheerful, clever, and a great storyteller. On his shoulder sat a green parrot that shouted, "Pieces of 8! Pieces of 8!" Everyone liked him, except Jim, who always felt that something was wrong. Then one night, Jim accidentally hid inside a large barrel and overheard something no one else knew. Silver, along with a group of other sailors, were actually disguised pirates. They had no intention of sharing the treasure. They were waiting until the treasure was found. Then they would overthrow the captain, seize the ship, and keep all the gold for themselves. Jim was terrified, but he stayed calm. When the time was right, he told Captain Smollett and the loyal group everything. From that moment, the journey was no longer just about treasure hunting. It became a battle of wits and strength between good and evil. After weeks at sea, the ship finally arrived at Treasure Island, a wild, untouched island full of trees, paths, and hidden caves. Beneath its peaceful surface lay hidden dangers. Jim and some of the pirates landed on the island. While no one was paying attention, he quietly slipped into the forest, and there he met a strange man. His name was Ben Gunn, a former pirate who had once sailed with Captain Flint's crew and had been abandoned on the island for 3 years. Thin, odd, but very clever, Ben told Jim a secret. He had already found Captain Flint's treasure and had hidden it in another place. But he had one condition. If he helped, they must take him home. Meanwhile, chaos was rising on the island. Silver and the pirates rebelled and took control of the ship, demanding the treasure map. But the loyal group quickly retreated to an old wooden house, using it as a fortress. The pirates attacked again and again, but the loyal men didn't back down. Jim, though still young, did something incredibly brave. He secretly returned to the ship, faced a dangerous pirate alone, and won. He took back control of the ship, moved it to a safe location, then returned to his friends. The battle continued. Silver, realizing his plan was failing, tried to act friendly, saying he wanted to join the good side. But no one trusted him anymore. He was a man with two faces, smiling one moment, backstabbing the next. Eventually, the pirates used the treasure map, the original from Billy Bones, and dug at the marked spot. But there was nothing there. They had been tricked. They shouted, cursed, and scattered. Some ran deep into the jungle and were never seen again. Others collapsed from exhaustion and gave up. At that point, Ben Gunn led the loyal group to the real treasure's hiding place. They saw more gold, silver, jewels than they had ever imagined. Chests full of coins, necklaces, pearls, precious items from around the world. It took them days to carry it all back to the ship. Finally, they were ready to leave the island. Some pirates were left behind. Some had died. And Long John Silver, once friendly and smiling, disappeared into the night, carrying a small bag of gold. No one saw him again. No one knew if he lived or died. Jim and the others returned to England. They had won. They were rich. But for Jim, what he brought back wasn't just gold or silver. He brought back the greatest experience of his life. He had faced fear, learned courage, understood whom to trust, and he had grown up. From a young boy working in a seaside inn, Jim Hawkins had become a seasoned soul with the heart of a sailor and the spirit of a guide. We've just followed Jim Hawkins on a thrilling journey across the sea, filled with danger, treasure, and betrayal. But to truly understand and live in that world in English, you need to master the vocabulary that appeared in the story. This is a crucial step to turn passive listening into living knowledge, helping you feel more confident when communicating in English. The first phrase is by the sea. This means next to the ocean or right beside the coast. For example, you can say, they built a small house by the sea. Now repeat with me. I want to live by the sea. Jim lived by the sea. Next is the word inn. This is a small hotel, usually quiet and old, where travelers stop to rest for the night. For example, we stayed at a quiet inn during our trip. Now say this with me. Let's rest at the inn. Jim's family owned a small inn. Now we have a rough. This word describes someone or something that looks rugged, messy, or wild. For example, the sailor looked rough with messy hair and old clothes. Let's repeat. He looked rough and scary. That man had a rough voice. Next is scar. This means a mark left on the skin after an injury. For example, she has a scar on her arm from an accident. Say this with me. He had a scar on his face. Billy had a deep scar. The next word is nervous. When you feel nervous, it means you are worried, anxious, or uneasy. For example, I feel nervous before a big exam. Now repeat, Jim looked nervous. She felt nervous before the test. Watching for someone means to look out for or keep watch for a person's arrival. For example, the dog was watching for its owner. Repeat after me, he was watching for danger. Billy was watching for a sailor with one leg. Keep an eye out means to be alert or to watch something carefully. For example, keep an eye out for your phone. You always forget it. Now say this. Keep an eye out for trouble. Jim kept an eye out for danger. The next word is pale. When someone looks pale, it means their face turns white or loses color from fear, illness, or surprise. For example, she went pale when she heard the bad news. Say this with me. He looked pale and afraid. Billy turned pale after seeing the black spot. Collapse means to suddenly fall down from fear, exhaustion, or pain. For example, the athlete collapsed after the race. Repeat after me. He collapsed from fear. Billy collapsed after receiving the black spot. The phrase his heart gave out means he died suddenly because his heart stopped, often from a shock. For example, he was so scared his heart gave out. Say this. His heart simply gave out. Billy died because his heart gave out. Next is adventure. This means an exciting journey, shot often with danger or discovery. For example, climbing the mountain was a big adventure. Say this with me. This was a big adventure. Jim had a great adventure. Voyage means a long journey by ship, especially over the sea. For example, the voyage took them across the ocean. Repeat after me. They went on a long voyage. The voyage to Treasure Island was dangerous. Strict describes someone who is disciplined, serious, and sticks to rules. For example, my teacher is strict but fair. Now repeat. Captain Smollett was strict. He is a strict but honest leader. Take over the ship means to seize control of the ship, usually by force or rebellion. For example, the pirates tried to take over the ship. Say it with me. They planned to take over the ship. Silver wanted to take over the ship. Right away means immediately or without delay. For example, come here right away. Say this. Do it right away. Jim left right away. Finally, we walked off. This means someone left or walked away, often quietly or without saying anything. For example, he didn't say goodbye. He just walked off. Say this with me. Jim walked off into the forest. The pirate walked off angrily. You've just completed a vocabulary session with clear, real-life examples. These words will not only help you understand the story more deeply, but also enrich your everyday English. Keep reading out loud, repeat often, and pay attention to rhythm and tone. With regular practice, these words will become part of your natural reflexes. If you're ready, let's move on to the next part, where we'll practice shadowing to improve your pronunciation and speaking fluency day by day. Want to begin that part? Just say continue. My friend, learning English is not a sprint. It's a steady and powerful journey, taken one step at a time. And today, you've taken another step forward on that journey. Every time you listen, understand a new word, or speak a sentence more clearly, you're moving closer to your goal of speaking English confidently and naturally. You might not see the results right away, but every small action you take today is building a strong foundation for tomorrow. If you want to improve your speaking like a native, keep practicing shadowing every day. It's one of the most powerful ways to turn knowledge into real-life speaking skills. Go back and listen to the story again. Focus on the words, copy the tone, the rhythm, and the pronunciation. It might feel difficult at first, but if you stay with it, you'll feel a real difference in a short time. And always remember this, you don't have to learn alone. Here at Kunzy in English, we're with you in every episode, every story, every speaking practice. We believe in you. We see the potential in you. And we'll always be here to remind you that, yes, you can do it. If you found today's episode helpful, give it a like to let us know you enjoyed it. Share it with your friends who are learning English too, so we can grow together. And don't forget to subscribe to Kunzy in English so you never miss a new episode. The best is still to come. See you next time. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself.